The VA loan is a pretty amazing loan, and there are some who are eligible and don't even know it. So hey guys, I'm Christian and I've been in the mortgage industry since 2001, and in this video, we're gonna go over the service requirements so that you know exactly how much service you need in order to be eligible for the VA loan. And at the end, I'm gonna give you an easy way to get proof of this eligibility. Now, there are many ways to be eligible, and it's mostly based on when you've served and how long you've served for. So make sure you know the rules about this, because if you go directly to VA, sometimes they get it wrong. So let's start with active duty. So if you're currently serving active duty, it's 90 days of service. And if you're not, it's gonna depend on when you've served. So let's start with the most recent time frame. That's August 2nd, 1990 to present. Now during that time, you would need 24 continuous months of service. Or another way would be 90 days if you were called to active duty and you served the full period, or if you were discharged for a hardship or a reduction in force after 90 days. Now, VA does allow less than 90 days if you were discharged for a service-connected disability. The next section is from September 8th, 1980 to August 1st, 1990. So that would also be 24 months active continuous service, or 181 days if you're called to active duty and served the full period, or if you were discharged for a hardship or reduction in force. Now again, less than 181 days might be okay if you were discharged for a service-connected disability. Now the next section of time we're gonna go is prior to September 7th, 1980. So this is gonna depend on whether or not you served during what's considered wartime or considered peacetime. So I'll put wartime up right now on the screen. If you served during this period of time, you need 90 days total of active duty service. Now, if it is during peacetime, and I'm gonna put that up right here, it would be 181 days during peacetime. Next up, we have the National Guard. So from August 2nd to 1990 to the present, you would need 90 days of active duty. And if you served any other time beyond that, 90 days of active duty would suffice, or 6 creditable years. Now, if you're in the reserves, it's the same time frame. August 2nd, 1990 to present would be 90 days of non-training active duty. Any other period besides that, of course, 90 days of active would do it, or 6 creditable years again. Now, VA will generate a document. It's called their Certificate of Eligibility. We call it a COE for short. And this is the form that confirms whether or not you are eligible. But as I said before, sometimes VA gets it wrong. We've had people that have requested it from VA and were definitely eligible, but VA came back saying they weren't eligible. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One reason can be that whoever reviewed it, maybe they're new, they're human, they do make mistakes, okay? So this can happen. And that's why it's important for you to know the requirements are, so that if this happens to you, you can still get your eligibility. Another would be if you had to give the proof of service and you just gave the wrong information or gave too much. Sometimes you might be eligible a couple different ways. If you served active duty, plus you always also have some National Guard time, you just want to supply the paperwork that's necessary to confirm the time period that you need in order to qualify, not everything. Now, there are a couple of different ways to get your certificate of eligibility. One is you can log into the eBenefits website and download it from there. Another option, which this one's not used much anymore, is you can request it by mail. I mean, who does anything by mail these days? I'm not sure. If you do it that way, though, be expected to wait. It does take a lot of time. It can take several weeks, up to, I've seen it take a couple of months. And the last way to do it, which is the way that we would prefer to do it, is to have a lender pull it. See, a lender has a direct connection to VA's website and can pull it for you. Now, about 50% of the time, it can be pulled instantly. And the other 50% of the time, you would need to submit the documents that show proof of service. And it's better for a lender to do this directly rather than you. We're gonna go through and see exactly which documents you have and only supply what's needed in order to document the service required. Now that you have your certificate of eligibility in hand, you can watch this video right here so that you'll know exactly what the credit requirements are for a VA loan. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.